Hello, I'm IPXToyCat, and this is QnA Saturday, the weekly series I run where I answer your questions that have been asked over the past week or so on my channel. These tend to be mostly focused on the next update coming out for Minecraft console, that's TU58 and 1.3, basically because obviously this is my channel and that's what a lot of people are concerned about, but they also ask questions about life and the world in general, and this is a good opportunity for me to respond to you, the subscribers. So I'm going to be answering a bunch of questions about all those things combined. Hopefully you do all enjoy it. You can like the video if you do because it helps out the channel and lets me know you do like QnA Saturday. So with that said, let me just quickly mention that all of the questions from this week come from the comment sections, and all of the ones from next week will as well, so make sure you leave your comments down below. I always pick questions from there, but I'm picking even more because the Better Together update obviously has caused a bunch of turbulent times. I want to really answer your questions about it, but let's get straight into the first question, which is about it actually, from Toycat's Geography Tutor, a fun little fan account, who says, QnA can't understand why it had to go out so soon. So yeah, that's to do with the update, because really this update really felt like it was a bit rushed. There was a beta, and we're like, oh yeah, we're making progress, it's an opt-in beta, that way we can really improve the game. I was quite happy with the game when it was in the beta phase, because there was kind of like two versions at the same time and you could work with both of them. But the thing about the update is it seemed to have launched way too soon for all of us. However, Tomaso actually confirmed on Twitter that their actual release date target was meant to be the start of August, and given that they had the Minecraft console trying to release in like 2 weeks, I think this was the very latest they could have released it, and I still think that was too early. I don't know what I would have done if I was in charge, if I would have just been like, yeah, let's just release it a little bit buggy, because if they just waited a little bit, then they could have launched and had everyone just immediately like it. Again, if they'd have waited until 1.3 or maybe even 1.4 to release this, you know, the equivalent of that, where it has all the features and there's no complaints you can make, then it would be this amazing upgrade. Because I'll be honest, there's been this real big excitement about like, oh, there's new Minecraft features, there's infinite worlds, there's this, there's that. There's been a real big excitement over the past week or so, and that could have been so much bigger if they had waited. And I really wish they had, but you know, I think they were clearly pushed between, you know, like two things. Like they couldn't have delayed it anymore because they'd already planned, and you know, it was clearly like a command from higher up Microsoft that was just like, what's the deal with releasing a slightly broken game? And I think, you know, dealing with that's going to take a little bit longer. Trying to like actually, you know, get the community back together is going to be a bit hard because of that. But I think, you know, the fact that it had to go out so soon is just, you know, they clearly underestimated console, and I'd say hopefully they don't do it again, but like this is the only time they're doing it, and at the very least they're delaying the Switch version, so that can, you know, make sure that goes out at the same time. And I think just those things combined really show that they wanted to release it finished, it's just they literally couldn't, or you know, maybe they just wanted to release it out there just for fun. I can't tell you which one it is, but I'm pretty sure it's the first one. So let's move on to the second question, which comes in from Ryan Carter, who says, QnA, what's the unluckiest thing that's ever happened to you? So I don't actually have many unlucky events in my life. Like I never accidentally broke a bone or like got pooped on by a bird. I had eggs thrown at me once actually. I'm still not sure if like it was an intentional thing, but like it felt like it was, and that was like an unlucky, just like I happened to walk past some dudes who happened to have some eggs, who happened to have good enough aim to like hit me in the back of the head, and I know that felt kind of lucky. But I think that the unluckiest thing it felt at the time recently is that basically maybe earlier this year, 3 months ago, I went to the airport to try and get home after like 3 days away, and I get to the airport and I just see a woman in front of me who's like, because you know there's no queue to get to the place where you get the physical tickets. Instead, the one in front of me just is like, oh yeah, well there's no flights today, and I'm like, this is a crazy old woman. Like there's no, you can't just not have flights with a giant airline like British Airways. But then someone from the actual airport comes over eventually, and it's like, oh yes, all the flights are grounded. The weight balancing system on the planes doesn't work, so they can't do anything. And as it so turns out, this is like a 1 in like a million. It never happens to any airline, but it happened to my airline on the one day I happened to be flying home. That their IT system failed, so not only could they not fly any flights anywhere, like not even to get people home or whatever, but they couldn't, because you know the weight balancing thing, they also couldn't update you when it was going to be okay on their website. So it's kind of just like, oh, it's crashed, and hopefully it comes up again at some point. We don't know for certain though. Let's just see what happens. So if you look at like pictures of Heathrow that day, it's really, really awful. But then to add to that unluckiness, I get a you know, a flight for the next day, and then that flight gets delayed by something like 5 hours. It's an hour-long flight, so I should have been, you know, if I was flying at 11, I should have been home by like 1 or 2 or something. But I was at the airport until like 4, and it just kept on getting delayed after delayed after delayed. And long story short, it was pretty. But you know, I don't like it when my flight magically vanishes and then the next day it gets delayed. Really bad stuff. And the odds of that happening, like IT failures for an entire airline just go down, it just doesn't happen, and it's nuts that it happened to happen to me. So yeah, that's probably one of the unluckiest things that happened to me, Mr. Ryan Carter. But let's move on to the next question, shall we? Which comes in from Ali Walid, who says, QnA, can you please play the Switch Better Together when it comes out? I want to see it run. So as soon as the Switch version of the Better Together update does come out, so I'm assuming that'll be 1.3. I'm like 70% sure now. Again, like they had to delay they tried to delay the Xbox One for as long as they could, then they literally couldn't delay it anymore, but they're delaying the Switch edition still, because clearly they've got a, you know, like they want to get that edition running properly, and you know, running properly in the Better Together update. So I'm assuming they're going to wait till 1.3 and then release it over there. And yeah, I'll totally play on the Switch because I'm really excited and really curious at the same time. Excited because I can play on the go, play on my realm on another device. I mean, you don't really need it so much for the partition, but still, the fact that I could play it on there would be pretty fun. And also, I want to see how it runs compared to the Xbox. I want to see how it runs the super duper graphics. I want to see how it runs all these different things. So that's going to be exciting to see as well. So with that said, let's move into the next question, which comes in from Omega5199, who's 5999, who says, QnA, will the Xbox One be able to run the new shaders coming in this new version of Minecraft? So I assume he means the regular Xbox One, because this is kind of designed and optimized for the Xbox One X. So I assume you mean the Xbox One regular and the Xbox One S, and the simple answer to that is yeah. So they're designing it so it'll run on every platform. I don't know if they're selling it on the phone editions, but it's even going to work there to some extent. So it will work on your Xbox One X, run regular, but you will have to make some compromise on performance. Like, you might have to turn down your render distance from like 18 to 14, or from 22 to like 16 to get the same performance, or you might just have to sacrifice frame rate. But because this version allows you to kind of do that yourself, then yeah, this new version of the game will allow you to run the shaders on any platform you want. It'll run on the Switch even. It's just the question of will it run well, and that depends on how the thing is when it comes out. So it's definitely gonna be able to run it, but you might have to make enough sacrifices that you wouldn't want to. But it definitely will run at the slightest. So if you want to just see it, then you'll get it. But whether it's worth playing or not, that's something I'll let you know when it comes out. So let's move on to the next question from the Saiyan named Rect, who says, why do you do the and then the squiggly line 0 in commands if you just do squiggly line? So I didn't actually know you could only do squiggly line until you mentioned that, and honestly, I'm in this big process of improving, because unlike a lot of people who played Java or who played PE and they're kind of familiar with the commands, I'm learning these commands from scratch, and I know a lot of you are in the same boat. So I figure one of the things I should do, and I guess we'll be doing this over the next week, is I'm going to start like doing like tutorials for each of the commands, so you can learn how to do this sort of stuff, because it's really powerful, the stuff you can do once you get used to commands. And I figure, like, for anyone who just wants to learn along, maybe you can do that as well. So yeah, I'm learning the commands myself. I'm making tiny mistakes, like I've been doing @p instead of @s for myself. Like, it doesn't matter right now, but it's still not efficient. And the fact that I'm doing squiggly line 0 instead of squiggly line, all these tiny things I'm working on, and I'll hopefully get better for the future. So thank you very much for letting me know, the same named Rect. I'll keep that in mind with the future. So let's move on to the next question, which comes in from Aaron Roughton, who says, more about the Minecraft Better Together 1.3 in the future, please. So yeah, it seems like a lot of people are excited and curious about the Better Together update. I was really curious as to whether, like, the majority of my channel would be 360, Wii U, etc. content, or whether, we would be mostly on the new version. But I think, yeah, it looks like everyone's kind of accepted that, like, well, there's a new version in town, and that's what we're mostly playing. And even though it sucks that there is that division, and I still want to keep covering the old version for that, I'm really excited about 1.3, not only just, like, as a, as a channel, it's fun to cover it, I will be covering it, but I'm really excited about the update personally, because this is the update where they're going to be bringing the features that we were missing from before, where they're going to be making just an objectively better version of Minecraft, we hope anyway. Like custom superflat, they could probably do that better in some ways, allow us to have the stuff we're not allowed right now. Stuff like amplified, they could do the full PC amplified. There's all these features where I think, like, if once they're added to this version, plus, any random other exclusives that come, this could be like the best update we've seen for Minecraft console. Yeah, it could be, and that's why I'm really excited. So I'm going to keep you up to date, because I'm following this thing like crazy, and I'm really excited about this update, and hopefully all of you are as well. Also, yeah, this is going to come out with the super duper graphics pack, most likely, so even more reasons to be excited about Minecraft 1.3. Anyway, let's move on to the next question, which comes in from Ninja Smurf, who says, if I was 4J, I would be pissed. I spent so many years developing a game just for it to get thrown away. Wow. So yeah, the truth behind this is I think for the Xbox One edition, yeah, they probably are upset. I imagine they're even losing money from that, because now, like, what used to be the sales in their old game are going to this new thing. I don't know for certain, but yeah, I imagine it must be upsetting to work on something for that long and then have it thrown away. But the truth is, it's only being thrown away on the Xbox One and the Switch, and they still develop on the 360 first, then port to everything else later. Like, they make sure it runs on the 360, and given that, like, off the 30 million console sales we have, still 20 million of those are for the Xbox 360. Only 2 or 3 million are for the Xbox One and Switch. I think the only thing you'd be really upset about is developing a Switch edition and then have it replaced. Like, it's not even been 6 months that it'll be replaced. It's like 4 months after it releases, they're replacing it. I think that's a little bit silly, but I imagine for the most part, they're happy to keep working on the old version, and they're going to keep bringing those up to date with the PE versions, and they're going to keep on making mini games. It's going to probably just about work out for 4J Studios. Plus, if you don't know, they're working on the Bedrock version now. I don't know if they have some share of ownership of that, but that's what they're going to be doing going forward. So let's move on to the next question, which comes in from Game for Fame, who says, Q, obligatory breakfast question. What did you have for breakfast, and what would be your dream breakfast? So I actually finished this. I've been really talking and selling my cereal all week, because again, cereal is just dessert breakfast. I've been loving it that, like, every day I can just wake up, have some dessert, but I used up all my milk and all my cereal, so I'm going to start moving on to something else now. I've got these little tubs of porridge I'm going to be trying, and I'm moving on to different breakfasts, because you can only eat a breakfast for so long, and we're going to talk about breakfast for a long time. Yeah, you strap yourselves in, it's everyone's favorite question. But no, what would be my dream breakfast? I think I know my dream breakfast already. It's so Burger King's mini hash browns, that's the best that's the best any breakfast thing in the world. But their burgers at Burger King are a little bit lackluster. So you go to McDonald's, you get the thing from there. You go to Burger King, get the mini hash browns, and then, you know, just for fun, throw some bacon on top of that anyway, and like some black pudding. Boom, that's my dream breakfast. Actually, haggis, you know, I went to Scotland once and I was like, haggis is the weirdest thing, but it's really delightful and you can have it with breakfast. And I'd say, you know, if I'm gonna have a chef that just makes me breakfast every day, really, I'm just gonna send him to Burger King and then send him to get some haggis. That, you know, yeah, Burger King hash browns and haggis, that's the dream breakfast. Just all of that non-stop, and you know, like unlimited refills on like fries. I want that, but with hash browns. So make it happen, someone. If you want to come to my house with hash browns, please do. So yeah, let's move on to the next question though, which comes in from SlayerKid7, who says, QnA, is there a custom flatlands and how to make them if there is a way to get them? Love your video. So that was a very confusing question, but I wanted to mention it because custom flatlands are one of the sad things we're missing from the old console version. But if you have an Xbox One, you can just make a flatland on the old version and transfer it over. That's what you have to do right now. However, they're going to be adding custom superflats in the next update. They didn't confirm precisely the next update, although they basically did. But they're going to be coming in this next update, and hopefully it's going to be a more powerful flatland creator, because they're going to be looking at the old version, they're going to be trying to make it and then trying to improve it. That's the plan at least, and yeah, I'm excited for it. So just wait maybe like 2 months, a little bit less than 2 months, and you should eventually see the flatlands there too. So let's move on to the final question, which comes in from Llama Slush. That's an interesting name. Who says, QnA, what will be the next country you visit? So I just came back from Lithuania as this goes live, but I'm not home yet, so this is before I go to Lithuania. But the country I'm going to next is actually going to be Czechia. It's the most recent country to change its name, and I want to make a whole video about like country names, so I'm going there. And I've got some friends who want to go to Czechia too, because like it's I think it's known as a party city. I could be wrong on that, but yeah, I'm going to Czechia next. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I'll let you know how it is in a week's time. Unless I die there, in which case I won't let you know how it is, and I'll just say that I guess I won't make videos at that point. But let's assume I don't die in Czechia, and I'll let you know how great it is on the YouTube channel. But for now, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Like it if you liked it, because it helps out the channel a lot. Let's know you do like the QnA Saturday. Share if you really liked it, and subscribe if you're new around here. I make videos like this one every single day on my channel, and if subscribed, you'll see them daily on your homepage. So okay, one thing to watch out for tomorrow for Seed Sunday. I couldn't work out a way to put text on the thumbnail while also like showing off the thing. It's an exciting seed, you're gonna want to see it. So I put a, you know, like shocked face emoji on there. I'm gonna see if that like massively increases the views in the video, because I've noticed there's a weird trend on YouTube of like using emojis instead of text. So I don't like emojis, but I'm trying it tomorrow, and you can all see the result as well. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow with an emoji thumbnail. Bye.